Hello everyone, if you don't already know, I'm Freddie Mac. I'm your ham radio crusader, and this is my YouTube channel. And I wanted to take a little bit of time to reflect upon the last year. Maybe even a little bit longer. Not too many of you know me yet, but I'm hoping in time that you will, and we'll all become good friends in one way or another. I'm here in amateur radio so that I can learn more and hopefully share what I know with any and all of y'all, for lack of a better word. I started the journey to retirement a few years back. I have been a public servant since November 2nd, 1989. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life back then, but I figured out in a real big hurry one day that it was going to be public service, and in my career was going to be law enforcement. Not the most popular choice I could have made, but it turns out that it's one that I'm good at, or I was good at. For many, many years I served. 1998 I got my amateur radio ticket because a friend of mine knew that I had interests in radio. And amateur radio, as it was explained to me, it was mesmerizing for the possibilities that it had, especially shortwave. So I got my ham ticket and I started exploring the hobby, and quickly discovered how expensive it was and wasn't able to grow in it as much as I wanted to. I tried from time to time, but life got in the way, and that's just the way it is. I love my wife, I love my children, and my career kept us fed. And it made everything else take a back seat. But it is what it is. It persevered and continued on. Happy to serve. Wouldn't change a thing. In 2022, I was taking a tally of the many years that I'd served and the toll that it's taken upon my body. And thought, I better start looking and see when I'm eligible for retirement. And I submitted the paperwork, and a few weeks later they emailed me back and then made a phone call and said, "Hey man, you could have retired last year." I'm like, "Oh wow." They said, "But if you stay until 2023, you'll get a bump in pay, and you can do what you want from then." So that's when I started making some plans. I put my paperwork in to retire on July 1st, 2023, and I did just that. But I tried preparing ahead of time for YouTube. I knew I wanted to do another YouTube channel. I already have one that I haven't been able to pay much attention to because it's a lot of work. It's called Okie Archaeology. You'll see a link somewhere that I plan on getting back to soon. It's about small town Oklahoma history, and I want to explore upon that and expand upon it. It doesn't have to be just Oklahoma. Small town history is a passion of mine. But when I figured out, hey, it's time to retire, and I had submitted my paperwork, I started the Ham Radio Crusader YouTube channel. I posted my first video January 10th, 2023. It's entitled All-Star Link, Time and Temperature on Your Node, I believe it is. All-Star Link, Time and Temperature on Your Node. It's very simple, very quick. I was nervous as a cat. I still get nervous. Hey, it is what it is. Put yourself out there for all the world to see. They're going to find flaws in you. Just like Mr. Miyagi said, when they throw a punch, be there. Everything will be okay. I started building upon the YouTube channel at that point last January. It is now December the 31st, 2023. This was January the 10th, 2023. And I wanted to make a go of it, but I didn't know how exactly. I started following a lot of the bigger YouTube channels, obviously. Ham Radio 2.0, Ham Radio Crash Course, Kyle AA0Z, Tank Radio. Those were my initial influences when I started looking up ham radio YouTube channels, because I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to give back, and I wanted to learn, because I have a lot to learn. I've been a ham since 1998, and I don't know much more than a tech does. Not that that's a bad thing, but I am humble, and I'm here to learn. I did get my general license, but with a lot of studying, and had a few HF rigs for a very short-lived time. Financial reasons, yada yada. It is what it is. I'm not here to cry about it, but I am here to try to help you relate better to me, because ham radio is my passion. As time went on, I started posting a few videos here and there of And then I started coming out with some unboxing reviews and All-Stars from February of 2023, a couple more in March, and things started growing. I'm like, hey, I can make a video about that, or hey, I can make a video about this. And a lot of it was All-Star because I knew All-Star. I'd been studying it for a while. It reminded me of Echolink, which I had dealt with before in the past. And the audio quality wasn't great. It had its advantages and disadvantages. We used the app a lot back then. It's not bad. It's not a terrible thing. It's just it got old. But when I learned about All-Star and all of its influences and functions and flexibilities, ooh, it was a world on fire. So I jumped right into that and took off. Upon all my research on All-Star and other influences, I seen that Jason Johnston, KC5HWB over at Ham Radio 2.0, was right there ahead of me quite a ways in All-Star, and I started following his channel closely and the live streams that he was doing when he was putting together the RIM Alinco. It was a repeater interface module for the Alinco radio, and then he had built his first hub out of a Pi 4, I believe it was. Might have been a Pi 3, which he later moved his hub onto the cloud with a cloud server, and it's just amazing. And it allows a lot of people to connect from all over the world, and that's what it's all about. And I also started connecting back then to and just by happenstance, I connected to the Philadelphia hub because it was a preset favorite in Supermon 2. I would just connect to the hub up there in Philadelphia and just listen and hear the banter back and forth and the different dialects and the different discussions. It was great. And then one Saturday morning, I was connected to them, and they had a net going. They call it an OMIC net, so it's the Delaware Valley OMIK net. It stands for Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. It's a amateur radio group, and this particular branch is in Philadelphia, New Jersey. It's the Delaware Valley. And they have a net every Saturday morning that Clint Beckett, is that right? WB3EHB, I want to say. Yeah, got it right. That Clint Beckett, WB3EHB, net controlled every Saturday morning, and I started chiming in. And they kind of thought it was neat. Guy from Oklahoma just checking in on their net through All-Star. And their net, you know, in the wintertime it goes long because a lot of people are indoors and whatnot. And I ended up connecting with a few guys through there, and they helping me out with a few of my little problems as far as radio issues and stuff that they were familiar with. And we built a rapport that is just awesome. I've never met one of these guys in person, but I love them all. They're great. They're just there for you. And I try to be that there for them. And as time went on, I finally stuck my toe out in the water a little bit. I've already had created my home node, 58176, my home node I created, and I had then later created 57788, which is the repeater node in Preston, Oklahoma. But I would take my home node and connect to Jason Johnston's hub, 43136, I believe, and he would sometimes speak on it during his live streams, and sometimes he'd have an after chat over All-Star after some of his live streams, mostly on Sunday evenings. And he happened to be doing a live stream one Sunday evening with Kyle AA0Z and Frank from Tank Radio, and it's called Installing Supermon into My All-Star Cloud Server, which I think he had Allmon configured initially and wanted to upgrade it to Supermon. And after they went through three-fourths of the video, three-fourths of the live stream, they got it all done. So Jason called out over the air, over his All-Star node, which I was connected to. And I realized, finally, it took me a little while to figure this out because I just didn't know at the time that the live stream is usually about 10 seconds ahead of you from what you're seeing on YouTube. So I turned my node on, connected to his hub, and was waiting, basically, because I knew he probably, if he was successful in getting the connection made, he would test it over the air, and I would be right there to chime in, maybe get noticed, who knows. And he did just that. And this is what happened.
All right, KC5HWB, if you guys are watching YouTube right now, you will see at the top of this list here My call sign is now highlighted in red with yellow text. That's because I have the system keyed up right now, so you can always tell who's talking. KC5HWB. And Arthur's in there.
Loud and clear, K85 FMU.
There we go. Ham Radio Crusader. Cool. Henrietta, Oklahoma. Okay. All right. KD5 FMU is in there. W6HER. Arthur's always connected.
Well, I don't know how impressed Jason actually was, but he was very kind. And as time went on, I would get to chime in a little bit more here and there. And finally, I want to say, as my channel grew, I was getting more and more noticed. In June 2023, Jason was having a Ham Shack happy hour, and I got invited on. I was chiming in on the live chat, and Jason invited me on and sent me the link. I think I was already on Discord, and I may have interacted with him. I know I was a member of his server. I'm not sure. I may have interacted with him, asking questions and whatnot. I accidentally sent him one of our club's emails. We did a group email, and we have a club member whose first name is Jason, and I already had Jason Johnston's email in my address book, and I accidentally sent him one of our club emails, and of course I responded and pointed out the mistake, and he was totally okay with it. And I think that's how we started our email interaction or what have you. But he hit me up on Discord and said, hey, join into the live stream if you want to. And he sent me the link. And on June 16th, 2023, I got invited an impromptu tail end of his Ham Radio Happy Hour, June 2023. And from the looks of things, it was Josh Naz and Jason and Kyle and Mike K at MRD and Frank from Tank Radio and Rhea from Rhea's Ham Shack and me. And I'm sure there were others on there, but people would drop in and come in, drop in and drop out as the night went on. And I got to, at least show them my face and say, hey, this is me. And I was on my laptop, and it looks totally crummy. I mean, it wasn't this, that's for sure. But time went on, I got to be on a few live streams here and there. And the open arms that I received from so many people in a very short period of time was just awe-inspiring. I never expected it. I never known hams to be cruel. I've never known them to not want to help you. But I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I've never been a YouTube anything. But I knew I wanted to help. I wanted to contribute. I wanted to learn. And I've gotten nothing but positive from everyone. It wasn't long after that, T.O. and all the guys over at Coffee and Ham Radios had me on a live stream. I believe I was on Ham Radio Clubhouse's live stream, I think. It's kind of been a whirlwind here lately, and I've also been on a live stream with Ham Radio dude, Sean. Just one thing or another, things are snowballing. I'm having a great time. I've got ideas like the wazoo. I'm like, hey, let's do a video about this. Let's do a video about this. I just built an Apollo from Coffee and Ham Radios, trying to make it right. All in the meantime, I've got these radio companies emailing me and say, hey, you want to do a review on our radio? You want to do a review on this product? And don't get me wrong, not all those experiences were pleasant, but I'm learning. And I've got all these other creators to bounce ideas off of and ask them, hey, is this a good idea? Should I be doing this? What was your experience with this? And it's been nothing but great. It's been nothing but great. I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. The year has gone by slowly, but fast all at the same time. In the middle of all this, I met up with, I'm going to say this wrong. I'm Mike. And I know I'm going to say this wrong again. Kinterconnect? N2MAK. And Scout, which is actually Shane, KD9NJJ. And they wanted me to join up with them and Jeff, K3JRZ, to do this thing called what we ended up calling Tuesday Night Ham Radio Video Premieres. I know it's a long name, but it is what it is. And all it is we coordinate with each other, and we build a playlist of our newest videos every week that we premiere on Tuesday nights, leads all the way up to the beginning of the Ham Radio Clubhouse live stream every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. And all our videos are lined up right in front of it, and we build that playlist and we share it with all of our social media so we can get the world to know about all of our channels. Other personalities that have jumped in since then is Grayman Poda, Vern Six, Digital Rancher, and Frank over at Ham Radio Wilderness. And we're having a great time. And also Ham Radio Dude's in there with us too. We're having a great time. And it's just to help each other out and keep things growing in Ham Radio. We cover a plethora of subjects from my All-Star and CCR reviews to their POTA activations, which I am so inspired by that I'm getting into now. So long and short of this entire video is just I'm looking back at the year and want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, not just to the personalities that helped me out along the way, but to all of you out there in YouTube land. I have over 23 or 2,400 subscribers, and I'm just dumbfounded by the support. Yeah, with every bit of sunshine comes a few drops of rain. That's the human race, folks. There's some negativity that's going to pop out there. I invite any critical criticism onto my YouTube comments because I want to be better. I want to know about these mistakes that I'm making, because sometimes I can be pretty tunnel visioned on a subject that I'm not seeing other points of view, and I need to know about that. Now, granted, some of them could be a little nicer, but hey, we don't always get to hear things the way that we want to hear them. That doesn't make us need to hear them any less. I can take criticism just as much as the next guy. Yeah, sometimes it hurts, but that's just my ego saying, hey, you're not good enough for this. But the other side of me says, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, put your hat on, get back to work. Start chopping wood. That's all there is to it. Everybody benefits from that attitude, number one, and the work product that comes from it. So, like I said, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I mean, all of you. I'll throw the banner up on the screen that I made. It took me several hours to put together, and if I left anyone out, I apologize now. But I only had so much space. But I tried to get everybody in there. But with that said, this is my year in review, and I promise that it's going to get better as time goes by. And if you got a subject that you would like for me to cover, put it down in the comments. Shoot me an email, kd5fmu@gmail.com. I don't care how long it is. Send me an email. If I can do better, send me an email. Drop me some comments. Hit me up on Discord. Down in the link to this video, you'll see my Discord server, my email address, the website, hamradiolife.org. But give me some feedback. If I'm doing good, tell me about it. If I'm doing bad, I really want you to tell me about it. If you got a better way of doing it, tell me about it. Let's make it all better for everybody. So, nonetheless, this is my year in review, and I want to thank you all for a great year. Hoping everything's going to be even better in 2024. Meanwhile, this is Freddie Mac, your Ham Radio Crusader, saying 7-3s, wishing all the good signals to be yours. Ham on, y'all.